Hey guys, welcome back to For StarCraft 2 Strategy and Discussion, your #1 location for step-by-step strategy and tutorial videos. Today we're going to be taking a look at a mass Roach build. Now this build works primarily against Protoss players. More specifically, it works very well against Protoss players who are going for that early Protoss aggression, with a mix of zealots and sentries and stalkers from warp gates or gateways, either or. It works just very, very well. Sorry. Man. So I've got some very animated friends here on Battle.net. So, anyways, besides the fact that my friend is Zeratul. So yeah, this build works very well against early game Protoss aggression. Now, you're going to see a little trick here, known as the Extractor trick. If you're fairly new to Zerg, or you've never seen this before, you don't know why I'm doing it, or what does it even do, what's the point of that? Why did you do that, sir? Works like this. Double Extractor trick, pretty cool. I saw it in a few pro games that I watch. I watch a lot of the commentary replays on YouTube. Love it. Great stuff, really exciting. I decided to produce strategy videos. I thought that'd be a little more informative, especially for newer players. But anyways, that's not the point. What is that? Double Extractor trick works like this. Once you get to 10 out of 10 supply, why don't you go ahead and take 2 of your drones and start building extractors with either of them. That's going to put you at 8 out of 10 supply, because as Zerg, whenever you build a building, you sacrifice a worker. So it's going to put you at 8 out of 10 supply. At that point, you can make 2 more drones, and then if you cancel your 2 extractors, you're going to be at 12 out of 10 supply. You're going to be actually over the supply cap. So why would I do this? Well, it seems, I haven't seen any actual numbers on it, if it's really that effective, but you're going to have 12 workers gathering as opposed to 10 before you start building your first overlord, which actually just popped right there. So it seems like you're going to be getting a little extra minerals from that, and the numbers seem like it would work that way. Some people debate, well, if you get the overlord out faster rather than building those 2 more drones, then you'll be able to get more workers out. But I don't know, I think it's pretty interesting. I've implemented it. Again, it's something I saw in a pro replay, and usually that's someone you want to not mimic, but imitate. Pro players typically have some general idea of what they're doing. So what are we looking at here as far as numbers? I do, after my first overlord, I go 14 supply with drones, and then I build my extractor. That drops me down to 13. I get 1 more drone, so at 14 supply again, I build a spawning pool. Then with scouting information, which I moved up my overlord here, and I saw he had 2 gateways and a cybernetics core coming. So I was like, alright, he's going for early game aggression. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go ahead and build a Roach Warren. So some people may ask me about my timing. Well, why did you get the extractor first? I get the extractor first because I think it opens up a lot more avenues as Zerg. If you get the extractor and you start mining from it right away with 3 drones, you have a lot of options once your spawning pool pops. You could get link speed. You could tech up to a layer if you wanted to go for fast tech. You could get a Baneling's Nest for a Baneling bust, or you could do what we're doing here, which is get a Roach Warren, which is going to stop this early game aggression from the Protoss player. So that's exactly what I do. I got out a couple of links just to try to keep him in his base a little bit. Also, I took out that probe that he had proxied right here, trying to stop me from fast expanding, but I never intended on fast expanding, so that's all he really, he just kind of really wasted there. I'm sorry, I'm going to respond to this real quick. Friends waiting to do some 2s. Anyways, so queen, where'd the queen come from? I didn't mention it. As soon as the spawning pool pops is when I get a queen. That's going to allow you to get the spawn larva up as quickly as possible, since you can only build a queen once you have a spawning pool. Spawn larva obviously very beneficial as far as pumping up your economy or pumping out an early rush, which is what we're going to be doing here. So again, back to the numbers here. 14 extractor, 14 pool. After the pool, I get the queen. After the scouting information, I decide what I want to do, and I decided this game I'm going for Roaches, early game Roach. Now I am pushing out here now. I have 7 Roaches right here. This is a little bit later than I would like to push out. Ideally, I'd like to push out about 4 or 5 Roaches, and then that handful of Zerglings that I have. Why? What's the big difference? It's only 2 more Roaches. Well, timing is really everything in this game, especially if you're going for early game pushes. And the timing of this is a little off. I put myself at a little bit of a disadvantage, because as you can see, look at that, his warp gate research is just finishing. So he's going to be turning these into warp gates, and he's going to be able to warp in units. So to make the difference is subtracting 2 roaches and attacking this army, or adding 2 roaches and attacking this army, plus 3 warp gates that are going to be able to warp in more units. Obviously that first scenario, attacking a little bit earlier, would be much better for me. So as you can see, moving up, I'm going to lose my Zerglings, unfortunately, because of this force field. And this, again, puts me in such a dangerous position, because he can warp in more sentries and block me off. He does decide to go for a little bit more aggressive of a move and warp in more stalkers to try to kill my roaches. Unfortunately, stalkers, this number of stalkers is not going to kill this number of roaches, and that's pretty much it. As always, with any early rush strategy, you want to make sure your buildings are rallied right to your opponent's base. So as you can see, I have more roaches en route, and they're right here, ready to aid in the attack. I'm going to be moving up and actually taking out these pylons to stop him from producing anything. Now, I would be in a dangerous spot if he was able to get an immortal out. But again, since he was going for that 4 warp gate push, he didn't have the resources necessary at this time in the game to build that immortal. So, going to be trying to move up these probes. Probes do not do very well against these heavily armored roaches. As you can see, I'm moving in, taking out this second pylon, going to stop any production, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, going back to the numbers here real quick. Again, 14 extractor, 14 pool, and then after scouting information, while producing my queen, I decided on my tech, and I decided on roaches, and as you can see, very successful. So again, this has been for StarCraft 2 strategy. Please stay tuned for future videos. Keep watching and keep owning.